in ancient Greece. Challenge the gods was the same as signing your own sentence of eternal suffering. They didn't just punish, they slowly and cruelly destroyed. Forget light punishments. Here the torment was eternal daily. Unbearable. Today you will know the worst. Punishments already applied by the Greek gods. And when I say worse, it's because there are people here being devoured alive, was trapped in a burning wheel, and even condemned to eat his own body. Tantalus was a favorite of the gods, dined with them on Olympus, but betrayed trust, stealing nectar and ambrosia to give to mortals, as if that wasn't enough. Murdered his own son, Pelope, and offered his flesh on a feast to the gods, just to test if they would notice. The gods were horrified, revived Hare and condemned Tantalum to a punishment. Non Tatar, he was on a lake, with water up to the chin, and with fruit hanging over your head. But every time I tried to drink, the water receded. Every time I tried to eat, the branches fled. Or torment was eternal, and he could never feed himself. A cruel irony, considering the feast he served. To anyone who says he's still there, trying to eat and drink until today. And the worst part, he hears the screams of other souls around. But you can't do anything, Sisyphus. He was king of Corinth, and one of the greatest cheaters in mythology. He tricked Thanatos, the god of death, chaining or, with this, nobody could die. Hades stayed, furious. When death was restored, Sisyphus still managed to fool even the underworld, coming back to life for a while longer. But the gods got tired. He was condemned to drop a gigantic stone uphill. Every time I was almost at the top, the stone fell again. The punishment wasn't just physical, it was psychological. The frustration was endless. According to some versions, he already freaked out. But keep joking. It started badly, killed the father-in-law, didn't want to pay the dowry, and still acted like nothing had happened. Even so, Zeus pardoned him and took him to Olympus. Only Zion reciprocated, trying to seduce Zeus. Knowing the intention, created a cloud in the shape of the Kol Nephili. Sion fell into the trap and got her pregnant. From it were born the first centaurs. Zeus attached Ixion to a flaming wheel that rotates non-stop in the skies of Tartar. He screams, spins and burns forever. Until today, the Greeks see lightning as a reminder of his suffering. As Danaides, the 50 daughters of Danaus, were forced to marry with the 50 sons of Egypt. Their father's brother, on the wedding night, all received a dagger with Clara order. Kill the... And so they did. Only one of them, Hypermaster, disobeyed and let her husband live. As punishment, all went to Tartar. There they were forced to fill a jug with water, non-stop. The effort was productive. The water ran every time. The work was constant, and took nowhere. The sound of dripping was the only one who accompanied those souls for all eternity. Promised stole fire from the gods and gave to humans. Zeus was furious. He chained him to a fly in the stone and sent him to devour his liver every day. At night, the organ regenerated. The next day, they came back every day. Forever. Promised, screamed, twists, but there was no escape. Even so, he never regretted helping humanity. He was only released long after by Hercules, but spent centuries trapped in that torment. Erctone disrespected Demeter by cutting down sacred trees in your grove, including one dedicated directly to the... In response, she cursed him with an insatiable hunger. He ate non-stop whole woods, fish bread all. When the food ran out, sold everything he had, including the daughter herself. But nothing distinctive. Hunger only increased. In the desperate end and with nothing, began to devour himself, died eating his own limbs, gnawing at the bones until there's nothing left. Medusa was a priestess of Athena. Known for her beauty and oath of chastity, one day Poseidon raped her inside the temple of Athena. Adia. instead of punishing, turned his fury against Medusa, transformed your hair in serpents, and gave her a look that transformed anyone standing on stone. Expelled from the world, Medusa began to live in isolation, hated by all. Hunters went after her, but none came back, until you lost appeared using a cigarette as a poison. He managed to decapitate her, and even after she was dead, your eyes petrified. Narcissus was such a handsome young man that everyone fell in love with him, but he despised everyone. Nemesis, the of revenge, tired of seeing so much arrogance, she lured him to a lake. There Narciso saw his own reflection and fell in love with it. Stayed there trying to touch and love that image. But I could never, just ate to sleep and died right there, facing your image in the water, in the place where he died. A flower was born. Narcissus Actaeon was a skilled hunter, trained by Centauro Chiron. A day during a hunt, he came across Artemis, bathing in a sacred fountain. Adia, enraged to have your privacy violated, turned him into a deer, unable to speak or defend themselves. Action was attacked by his own hounds, who didn't recognize him. They tore it to pieces completely, and only later did they realize that they had killed their master. The dogs were desolate, wandering in search of action to console. Los Chiron carved a statue of their former Niobe owner. Queen of Thebes was Tantalus' daughter. Proud to have many children, she made fun of the Leto, mother of only two, Apollo and Artemis. As punishment, Apollo killed all his children. Men and Artemis, all daughters. Women, except one. The bodies were unburied for 9 days. For God has turned the Thebans to stone, so that could bury them. On the 10th day, the gods buried the children. Devastated, Niobe fled to Mount Cycla, where she was turned into a weeping princess. Eternally, they say that to this day, when the snow melts, see you? Orestes was the son of Agamemnon and Clytemnestra. After your mother murdered your father, he was instigated by Apollo to avenge his father's death. Flowers slew Clytemnestra and her lover, but it made him the target of the Erinyes, of vengeance. Tirelessly pursued, he freaked out, was tormented by visions and nightmares. Seeking purification, took refuge in the temple of Apollo, who purified it with pig's blood. Finally, was tried in Athens and by Athena, ending your pursuit. The Erinyes accepted the verdict and turned into the Eumenides. Benevolentes. Atlas was a Titan who led the Titans in war against then gods. After defeat, Zeus condemned him to hold the sky on his shoulders, different than many think. Atlas did not carry the earth, but the celestial vault. On one occasion, Hercules asked for your help in getting the apples, golden garden of experiments. Atlas saw it as a chance to break free from punishment. He agreed to get the apples if Hercules held the sky for a while. But when he returned, the hero deceived him, pretended he needed to fit the cover on his shoulders, and returned the weight to Atlas, who got stuck again. Atlas' suffering was not one of pain, but of eternity. The weight was so colossal that he could never relax for a second. They say your legs have already sunk into the earth, and your screams echo with the wind from the mountains. In Greek mythology, no one who dared to defy the gods got unpunished. Every punishment was one lesson. No morals, but domain. They made it clear that in their world there was no forgiveness, only punishment. Some screamed in pain, others went crazy in silence. But everyone paid one price too high. Now tell me, if you lived in ancient Greece, I would dare to provoke a god. Enjoyed this dive in the cruelest punishments of the Greek mythology, so subscribe to the channel because there is so much more coming around legends, wars, monsters, and the kind of story that no one forgets.